Hey guys, welcome to your review for your first test. This is your study guide, and this is for 1.1 to 1.4 arithmetic sequences and series. Please note that you do get to use a formula, but I won't tell you which formula goes where, so make sure you know how to do those. Okay, here we go. The first question says, state if it's an arithmetic sequence. All you have to do is tell me yes or no. So let's take a look at the very first problem, okay? How would I know? You would take the second number minus the first one. So 8 minus 6 is 2. 11 minus 8 is 3. Do you see how these numbers are not sequential, like in order? So this one is a no, okay? Number 2, let's go ahead and try this one as well. So you would take 1738, oops, minus 173, and the difference of that is 1,565. How about 17388 minus 1738? The difference of that is 15,650, so this one is also a no. All right, so that's how you can figure it out. You just subtract that number minus the previous one. All right. Number 3 says, determine if the sequence is arithmetic. So let's see. What are you noticing? If you take the math, you just take 107 minus 7, you get 100. 207 minus 107, you have 100. 307 minus the previous term. Do you see how those are all the same? So yes, this is arithmetic sequence. Okay? And then it says, find the term name in the problem. So I want you to find the 40th term. So you are going to use the explicit formula. And here is your explicit formula. This is what it looks like. So we're going to plug it in, okay? All right. Your first number is 7. So A is a 40. I'm looking for the 40th term. Plus your change, and we found our D to be 100. 40 minus 1. I'm not writing a formula, I'm trying to find an answer, okay? If you were to write a formula, you would write N. Now you're going to plug it in on your calculator. 7 plus 100, parentheses, that is not it. Let me clear this so you guys can see what I typed in. Here we go. 7 plus 100, parentheses, 40 minus 1, because I'm looking for the 40th term, and that comes out to be 3907. So the 40th term is 3,907. So basically, here's your first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth, sixth, seventh, all the way to 40. What is that number going to be when it's 40? 3,907. Number 4, let's see if it's also an arithmetic. All right, so to check, you take 239 minus the one in front of it. 439 minus the one in front of it, 639 minus the previous term, and they're all 200, so that is an arithmetic. This time, I am looking for the 30th term, so I'm going to use the explicit formula that you guys have up here. So A sub 30, A sub 1, first term, plus your D, which is 200 that you found on the calculator, 30 minus 1. So 39 plus 200, 30 minus 1. Oops, got to type it in correctly, right? And that 30th term will be 5,839. Okay? And there you have your 4th term. All right. On number 5, determine if it's arithmetic. Notice you got to say yes or no. So this one was a yes. All of these are yes. So we got to make sure it is or not. So let's see. 6 minus 13, negative 7. Negative 1, excuse me, negative 1 minus 6, negative 7. Negative 8 minus negative 1, negative 7. So yes, this is an arithmetic sequence, right? And then the direction says find the explicit formula and then the recursive formula. So your explicit formula will look like this. A sub n, this is a formula. First term is 13 minus 7, n minus 1. And there you have your explicit formula, okay? The recursive formula looks like this. A sub n equals 13. Oops, my bad. A sub n minus 1, your d is negative 7. Do not put parentheses around it. And your first term is 13. And there you have your explicit and your recursive formula. On number 6, let's see if this one is also an arithmetic. Okay, make sure you answer yes or no. Let me clear my calculator. Here we go. Negative 80 minus 20. Negative 180 minus negative 80. Negative 280 minus negative 180. And so your D is the same number every time, so it is arithmetic. Explicit formula looks like this. A sub n equals your first term minus 100, n minus 1, just like that. And your recursive formula looks like this. A sub n equals a sub n minus 1 minus 100. Make sure you bring down your n minus 1. And your first term is 20. And there you have your recursive formula. Okay. All right, let's take a look at number 7. This one says, do what? Series. So evaluate a series. Look at these are all just a bunch of numbers. Series is a total of something. The easiest thing to do for those is you just add them together. 5 plus 9 plus 13 plus 17. So all you do is add these guys together, and when you do, you get 44. Don't forget to label. S sub n is 44. Otherwise, are we talking about 44 freckles that I have? Or 44 boyfriends? You know what I'm talking about. So make sure you label. S sub n means it's a series, it's a sum. Okay? All right, number 8, same thing. Add all these guys together, because there's only 5 terms. 4 plus 12 plus 20 plus 28 plus 36. And this one, S sub n equals 100.
Cash Foster, please report to the front office. Cash Foster, please report to the front office.
Next one, evaluate. Evaluate means just find the answer, okay? And it is an arithmetic series. So you have 2 formulas you're going to use. Either S sub n equals n divided by 2, first term plus your last term. Or you may use your sigma, where x is equal a number, how long it's going to be. Let's just keep with the n, okay? And then you have your explicit formula, just like that. There you go. You're going to use one or the other, depending on what you have. Now let's take a look. I want the series. So I know my first term, I got my last term, I got my n. Which one do you want to use? I have 3 out of the 4. I'm going to use this one for number 9. So S sub n equals 6 divided by 2. First term is 4, last term is 29. And you can just type that in. You ready? It's easy to put fractions in parentheses. Or if you know 6 divided by 3 is 2, go ahead and do that. Times 4 plus 29. And that sum is 99. So S sub n equals 99. Okay. All righty. Let's go ahead and do number 10. I got my first term. I got my last term. I know my n. I'm going to use this formula right here. So S sub n equals 7 divided by 2. 2 plus 14. First and last. Calculator. Parentheses 7 divided by 2 times 2 plus 14. Comes out to be 56. So S sub n is equal to 56. Make sure you label. All right. Number 11. Okay, it's in sigma form. You type it just like you see it. Alpha window number 2. X is 3. Right click. N is 8. Here's your formula. Type it just like you see it. Make sure it's inside the parentheses. Equals. The sum of that one is negative 228. Look at number 12. Number 12, same thing. Alpha zoom, alpha window. My apologies. Number 2, x is 1. Right-click to 12. Right-click to 9x. In that case, it's 9n, just like you see it. So that comes out to be 702. All right, let's look at number 13 now. On number 13, let's see what we have. We have the first number, and I know that there's a pattern to this. It's 5, 16 minus 11 is 5, 21 minus 16 is 5. My D is 5, okay? So I'm going to put my D is equal to 5. So I know my first term, don't know my last, know my n number, and know the D. I'm going to use the sigma notation. It's still an arithmetic series. So x equals 1. I'm going to go all the way to 11. First term, 6 plus 5, x minus 1. Now, there's a parentheses. Make sure you write everything inside that parentheses on your calculator, but you don't have to add it here. Here we go. Alpha zoom, alpha window. Oh, sorry, I keep saying alpha zoom. X, 1, right click to 11, inside the parentheses, 6 plus 5 parentheses, x minus 1, just like that. 341. So S of n is 341. All right, let's look at number 14. Let's see if it's arithmetic first. Get my calculator so you guys kind of see what I'm typing. Okay. 33 minus negative 26. So it's negative 7 is your D. Negative 40 minus negative 33, negative 7. Negative 7. So my D is negative 7. Have the first term, have the n, don't have the last term. So you might not want to do it, the S of n. You might want to do the sigma. There we go. Sigma, n is equal to 1. I'm going to go all the way to 10. First term is negative 26 minus 7, n minus 1. Just like that, okay? Alpha window, number 5. I don't know why I typed that. Alpha window number 2. X1 going all the way to 10 terms, negative 26 minus 7 parentheses x minus 1. Negative 575. And there you have your first page. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and look at the back page. Here we go. Now, I would circle some things to help me. I would probably label some things to help me if I were you. There's a stack of bricks in the backyard. There are 25 bricks on the bottom layer, 22 bricks on the next layer, and 19 bricks on the next layer. How many bricks are there in total? So since I'm looking for like how many bricks all together, I'm going to use a series. So either I'm going to use S of n or I'm going to use my sigma. And then again, you might just add it all together. Here we go. All right. So let's label what we know. You have 25 bricks at first, 22 bricks next, 19 next, and so on. Are you noticing a pattern? Yeah, your D is negative 3. Okay? If I'm looking for a series, I have a first term and a D. What would be the easiest thing to do? They're talking on the bottom layer. You could use your sigma. If you did the sigma, okay, if you did the sigma, you don't know how long this is going to go. If you did the S of n, you know your first term and don't know your last term. So the easiest thing is you're not going to be able to use any of the formulas. You're just going to have to do this by hand. So here we go. So I start off at 25, 22, 19, subtract 3 is 13, 16, 10, 7, 4, 1. And you know they're bricks. You can't have negative bricks, so you're going to stop. Now what are you going to do with all these numbers? So we actually are going to list them method, okay? So there we go. So 22, 25 plus 22 plus 19 plus 16 plus 13 plus 10 plus 7 plus 4 plus 1. 117 bricks. S of n, 117 bricks. So we actually had to use the first method because the second and the third wasn't going to work. All right, let's go to number 16. In the theater, there are 40 seats on the first row. Second one has 36. Next one has 32, and so on. Okay? So there are 40 40 seats on the first row. How many seats are on the ninth row? I'm looking for exactly the ninth one, so I'm going to use your explicit sequence formula. All right, so here we go. You know you're going down by 4, so D is equal to -4. And I want to know the ninth row, so A sub 9 equals your explicit formula. First term is 40, your D is 9 minus 1, just like that, okay? So 40 minus 4, 9 minus 1, just like you see it typed. So, how many seats is on the ninth row? Ninth row will give you 8. And there you have it. Now, the study guide was not as difficult as you thought it would be. So if I were you, I would probably go back and do some of the homework just to help you prepare for the tests. Thank you, guys. It'll probably be worth 50 points. Have a nice day.